What's up, guys? It's Nez Reacts, and today I got a special video for you guys. So, after that terrible ending of WrestleMania 41, we finally got to hear what The Rock's excuse was on the Pat McAfee show. And my God, which is so stupid. We're going to break down everything he said, and I'm going to do a deep dive, so we're going to talk about everything leading up to that point. I'm going through this just in case people who've never understood what this whole issue is, or the people who are actually supporting Dwayne on this stupid decision. So get prepared because we're going to be here for a little bit. So stay locked in. Okay, so the first thing we're going to talk about is Ari Emanuel. So Ari Emanuel is the owner of the CEO of Endeavor, who created TKO, which is a group holdings. Basically, what happened was Ari Emanuel now owns WWE and the UFC. So it's kind of like a merger. And the person who's the head of the board for TKO is The Rock. So the first time we've seen Rock in forever was on the day one edition of Monday Night Raw of last year, January 2nd. So in this episode, he just came out and basically did his whole, just coming out and talking to the fans, hits a rock bottom on somebody, and then says a whole bunch of bullshit. But in this one, he kind of mentions Roman Reigns and kind of sets up possibly a match between him and Roman. He was like, should I sit at the table of the head of the table or some shit like that, just to kind of tease him and Roman. But also on the other side, Cody Rhodes, he just came from losing at WrestleMania 39 to Roman Reigns because of Roman Reigns' bloodline, who helped him out, and Roman wound up surviving and retaining the title. So now Cody's story is he's trying to finish the story. So he's got to find a way to get back to the main event and beat Roman Reigns. We head into January 27th, 2024, the Royal Rumble. And Cody Rhodes would wind up winning the Royal Rumble, being part of the short list of wrestlers who have won back-to-back Royal Rumbles. And as soon as he won, he immediately was looking directly at Roman Reigns because he was out in the skybox with Paul Heyman and was like, I'm coming after you. So we have our Mania set up. Cody versus Roman, part 2. So the next night on SmackDown, the following SmackDown after Royal Rumble, Cody and Roman have a little face-off. And all of a sudden, Cody Rhodes says, I'm going to beat you for the championship, but not at WrestleMania. So now we're all confused, like, what the fuck? He's main eventing WrestleMania. He earned the right. And then Cody says, because there's a special counsel, and this counsel knows you really well, inserts The Rock. So The Rock is now setting up WrestleMania 40 between him and Roman. And this is fucked up because Cody is now getting cucked out of his main event, all because Rock all of a sudden wants to jump in, and he can't because he's a part of the board, which is bullshit. So now WWE gets a whole bunch of shit. Everybody starts talking shit or mad because out of nowhere, The Rock is trying to face Roman and Cody's getting cucked out of his main event. That's when the hashtag We Want Cody movement started. And I was actually a part of the hashtag We Want Cody. So what that was everybody online was getting mad at the fact that The Rock did what he did. And now everybody's like, no, we want Cody. It's supposed to be Cody and Roman at WrestleMania. So then Rock and Triple H, who were Triple H's head of creative now, they had to come up with a plan like, okay, we got to fix shit up because this is bad. WrestleMania 40 is looking to be bad because everybody's not liking the decision that we made. So what they did was they found a way to go about it in a way to getting Cody back to the main event against Roman Reigns by making the Rock the final boss character. The final boss. So the thing with the final boss is now The Rock has joined Roman Reigns and the rest of the bloodline to try to stop Cody from winning the championship. And the build up to this WrestleMania was fantastic. I have to give them credit. The way they went about it and spinned everything and made everything work was fucking unbelievable. The Rock would show up sometimes and he would attack Cody in front of his tour bus, made him bleed at one point. He would go on Instagram Live and then talk shit about Cody and his mother, and showing a weight belt and telling him that, or telling his mother that her son's blood is going to be on that weight belt at WrestleMania and stuff like that. The whole build was fantastic. So then we get to WrestleMania 40, and we have one of the best WrestleMania 40, one of the best, WrestleMania main events of all time, with the Bloodline getting shut down by Cody, John Cena, Jey Uso, and The Undertaker. And Cody Rhodes was able to finish his story and become the first ever Rhodes to win the World Heavyweight Championship. So it was a beautiful WrestleMania. Now we go into the next chapter. So the night after WrestleMania, The Rock comes out and talks to Cody. And he is like, he even holds the world title. I don't know why Cody let him hold the title. It was fucking weird. But anyways, The Rock and Cody have a conversation, and The Rock says and gives him something and hands Cody something and is like, don't ever break my heart again. We have no idea what the fuck is in his hand. So that's where this leads off. This is the last time we see The Rock, in April. So the next time we see The Rock is all the way in October at the pay-per-view Bad Blood. And in this pay-per-view, Cody and Roman actually team up in a tag match to main event the show. And after the ending of the show, The Rock comes out surprisingly. Everybody goes crazy, and he looks at Cody and Roman and goes, puts a 1, 2, 3 and then a throat slash. And we're like, what the fuck does that even mean? And then The Rock leaves. So now he has us thinking, well, what is going to happen? I mean, The Rock just saw Cody and his own blood, Roman, team up after all of them had a feud with each other. So how's The Rock feeling knowing that his own blood is teaming with the enemy? So now we're like, oh, the story is getting really good. But unfortunately, the next time we see The Rock is January 6th on the Raw, the first Raw on Netflix. And he actually starts off the show. And he talks and is talking, and he comes out as the final boss, but is PRing this whole thing. Like, shout out to all the executives and Netflix and all this stuff. He was putting over the company. And then even points to Cody in the crowd, and he is like, shout out to Cody for carrying the company on his back for a whole year, improving the company, this and that. And we're like, what the fuck? Why is The Rock putting over Cody? This makes no sense. So we're like, what is going on? And we're like, maybe it's just because, he has to suck up to the Netflix executives and stuff like that. So we were like, okay, that's kind of weird. But then even later on in that night, Roman had a match with Solo for the Ulafala, and then Roman won, and The Rock and Roman has some sort of like stare down. So we're like, where is this leading? So we're like, okay, we're finally going to get somewhere. Roman and Rock has some tension. What are we doing? But it all doesn't matter, because later that night, all you see is The Rock on Instagram Live, high-fiving everybody in the back, even sharing tequila with Cody near his tour bus. Him and Cody were sharing tequila together and having a good old laugh time. Like, what is happening? Like, what happened to October? Are we just going to skip past what you did in October? We don't get any information. So then The Rock goes on NXT the next night. He goes on NXT and he hears all the backlash that he gets online between like me and everybody in the community about how he didn't even sell the final boss character, and all of a sudden is friends with Cody. So he gets mad. He goes on NXT and he says, all you guys gotta shut up, close your mouth, and let The Rock take you on a ride. So we're like, where is this going? So if you want us to shut up, we gotta see what this story is leading to, right? What's also important to note is that this is John Cena's final year. He announced at Money in the Bank that this is going to be his final year. And after December 2025, he's done. He's done wrestling. This is very important because we're going to have to get back to that in a little bit. So we don't see The Rock. This happens in January, by the way. The NXT thing in January. We don't hear anything about The Rock until the end of the Royal Rumble and going into Elimination Chamber, 2 weeks before Elimination Chamber. Now, the big thing is John Cena enters the Royal Rumble. He does not win. John Cena knows that he can't just insert himself into a world title picture because The last time Cena won a singles match was in 2018. So now he knows the final time he gets a chance to main event WrestleMania is by winning the Elimination Chamber. We haven't heard from The Rock until 2 weeks before the Elimination Chamber. He comes out and speaks to Cody, and he tells Cody, I want your soul. I've never had a brother before, and I want you to be my brother. If you sell your soul to me, you'll be my world champion, and you'll have everything. Anything you ever wanted, you'll have. As long as you sell your soul to me, you become my brother, you become my champion. And he tells him, you have up till Elimination Chamber to make your decision. Throughout this, the second week, The Rock shows, he doesn't show up, but he goes on his phone and shows Cody like all the stuff that you can have. He even pulls out an American Nightmare truck for him. Like, all this could be yours if you sell your soul to me, right? So we get to Elimination Chamber. John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber match and is now going to face Cody at WrestleMania. But now the thing is, will Cody sell his soul to The Rock? After Cena wins the Elimination Chamber, Cody comes out and they look at each other like, dabbing each other up, like, yeah, see you at WrestleMania, everything is good. Then The Rock comes out with Travis Scott. I think that's how you spell it. I can't remember, but who cares? Him and Travis Scott come out. Don't know fucking why. But anyways, Cody's like, The Rock's like, what's your answer? And obviously Cody wasn't going to sell his soul. I made a video on this back before like the answer was happening and like all the other options that could have went down. I made a video on that. But anyways, so Cody says, Rock, go fuck yourself. The crowd goes crazy. John Cena's like, yeah. And all of a sudden, John Cena dabs up Cody Rhodes. And then The Rock goes like this, slices the throat slash again. And it turns out they pulled the fucking trigger. John Cena, after 20 plus years, finally turns heel and takes out Cody Rhodes and sells his soul to The Rock. At least we think. He sells his soul to The Rock. At the end of the Elimination Chamber, Cody's beat up. Travis Scott attacks him. John Cena attacks him. And The Rock stood there. And they all stood there together on top. So Cena has turned heel. Everybody goes crazy. The news outlets, literally people who don't even watch wrestling even hear about it. Overtime's posting it. It's on the news. It's like everywhere. I was shocked. The whole world was shocked. We was like, this is insane. The fact that they waited his final year and decided to pull the trigger was insane. I was like, wow. So I was like, this is the ride that Rock was taking us on? All right. So I should have shut up. So that's what I'm thinking at this point. We get the Cena and Cody build to Mania. The Rock was mentioned once. Throughout the whole feud, throughout the whole promos that they did, the build up to Mania, John Cena never mentioned why he sold his soul to The Rock. At all. Not once did he mention him. Cody mentioned one time, he was like, only one of us has sold their soul to The Rock. And John Cena didn't even like answer back. He didn't answer why he sold his soul to The Rock. Now, we all think he sold his soul to The Rock because obviously John Cena can't keep up with Cody anymore. And he knowing that if he has The Rock on his side, that guarantees John Cena making history and being the first ever guy to break Ric Flair's record and be a 17-time world champion. So that's what we all thought, but we want to hear it from John Cena's perspective and actually hear it from him. We never get that. The Rock doesn't show up not once to build to WrestleMania 41. So it's now WrestleMania 41. We're excited, like what's going to happen? We get to the match. John Cena and Cody, they're having a very slow match because obviously John Cena can't keep up anymore. So it was very slow pace and kind of like, kind of boring-ish. But it was fine. But then we were just waiting for all the situations to go on, all the actionness. So then the ref gets knocked out. Then we see Travis Scott come out. Travis Scott, right? Fuck, whatever. Travis Scott. He comes out and his song Fiend is playing throughout the whole fucking time. Literally, it took him like almost the whole song to get to finally get to the ring. Travis comes and tries to take out Cody. Cody takes out Travis. So now we're like, okay, so this means The Rock's going to come out. The final boss is going to come out and help Cena win. What happens? Travis Scott is literally the reason that John Cena has beaten Cody and made history. What happens is, as Cody takes out Travis Scott, Cena grabs the world title and tries to hit Cody with it, and now they do like a both back and forth. They're doing a tug of war for the world title, and then Cody gets the belt. And now Cena's begging, please don't do it. And they made Cody look like the dumbest dude, the dumbest fucking babyface. They let him be like, nah, I can't hit him. And as soon as he decides not to, Cena low blows him, takes the title, hits him with the title. The ref wakes up. 1, 2, 3. Cena makes history, becoming the first ever 17-time world champion in the most lamest way possible. It was so underwhelming. Cena has made history, and none of this is going to be remembered. Why? Because the most important person did not show up, and that is the fucking Rock. This is his story, selling his soul. Cena sold his soul to try to get the world title. This man did not show up to help his champion, quote unquote. He wanted somebody to sell his soul to him, and they'll be his champion. So why not help the person that sold their soul to you so you can have your champion? You're helping your champion win the championship, and you'll forever have him as your champion. None of that happens. We get Travis fucking Scott, out of all people, helping John Cena make history. You know how fucked up this is? I feel bad for Cody and I feel bad for John, because Cody now looks like a fucking pushover, and Cena has made history, and nobody's going to remember it, and nobody's going to even look back at this and think it was such a great moment because of The Rock. Ladies and gentlemen, this Mania could have been one of the best Mania endings ever if The Rock showed up. And no, he wasn't filming a movie. He was in his house. And I think he was in Hawaii. So you couldn't show up to Vegas for one night and help John Cena make history and making WrestleMania 41 one of the greatest endings of all time. So now a whole bunch of backlash happens. Everybody's mad. I'm fucking pissed off because John Cena is one of my favorites of all time, and the fact that he wins in this type of way pissed me off. So I was mad. Everybody was mad. We don't hear from The Rock. Nothing. Until Tuesday. He goes on a Pat McAfee show and he says this dumb shit. I'm going to play it for you so you guys can hear it for yourselves, and then I'll go back into it.
So I got a call about a month before Elimination Chamber. I get a call from Ari Emanuel, who we know owns TKO. TKO owns WWE. He's been my longtime business partner and one of my best friends for over 20 years. He said, we need help at Elimination Chamber. Ticket sales are a little slow, but beyond that, he goes, what we are finding is with Elimination Chamber, it's become the pay-per-view that's been interesting. Fans have had fun, but it's also the conduit to WrestleMania. And how do we create a Elimination Chamber that people must tune in to see? How do we create that? And he goes, right now, we don't have that. And he said, will the final boss show up? I said, well, let me give it some thought and let me get back to you. So I gave it some thought. I got back to Ari. I got back to Triple H and Nick. We had a call. And I said, I have an idea. What's most important to the final boss? The most important thing to the final boss isn't titles. It's not money. It's not fame. Been there, done that, and grateful for that. Final boss wants your soul. And what does that mean? What that means, that doesn't mean, hey, the final boss wants you to act like this, be like this at his beck and call and treat you like crap and make you do all these things that are unbecoming or embarrassing. That's not what the final boss wants. That's not how the final boss flies. No. What that means is whatever you could think of in your head. So Cody Rhodes, whatever dreams you have, whatever ambitions you have, even if they're dark, even if they're amazing and they're full of light, even if they're scary, whatever those are, you tell the final boss he's going to make it all happen. You wave that magic wand, he'll make it all happen. So when it comes to giving me your soul, giving the final boss your soul, that is what you want, not what the final boss wants. And so what does the final boss get out of that? I get your soul for life. That's what the final boss gets out of that. So now we go into Elimination Chamber with this idea of, will Cody Rhodes sell his soul to the final boss? And my thought at that time, and you and I might have even talked, I know we talked about this, was it was it was a litmus test to find out, in my opinion, how will fans respond if Cody sold his soul to the final boss? Let's get a temperature check on this. Let's establish it. Let's anchor it in. And you come to find out that there were a lot of fans who were saying, sell your soul.
Yeah.
This shit is going to be crazy. Whatever it is, it's compelling. It's going to be great. Let's do it. Sell your soul. So I was an advocate of that, not turning Cody heel soon. But eventually, down the line, I like the idea of that because Cody's a smart guy. He's an intelligent guy. He's a ring general. And I think this idea of you give him a reason to turn way down the road, by the way. You give him a reason to turn, not based on titles, not based on this, but it's his soul and what that means that affects generations. It's transcendent beyond pro wrestling, and fans were loving it. Closer to Elimination Chamber, we were kicking ideas around, myself and Triple H, and that's the fun part, by the way. I've been kicking ideas around with Triple H for 20 years, dude. Just always having a great time with him and Nick and my team as well. And Triple H said, you know, what about this? What about John turning? I said, I love it. I love it. The next question is you got to talk to John, see how he feels about it. And, you know, in a moment where you have this shift and click moment, and it happened to me when I was a pure baby face, I got booed out of the building around the world, and they took the title off me my rookie year, and they sent me home the summer of 97. And I didn't know what I was going to do. I just knew this is not going to work for me. I don't even know if I have a future in pro wrestling. I get a call from Vince and says, I'm going to bring you back as a heel and be part of the Nation of Domination. I said, that's great. I love it. But just give me 2 minutes on the microphone to speak from the heart. And he did that, and things changed immediately that night. It's the same thing with John. John loved this idea of turning heel, but he's like, but you know what? There's an anchor here that I'm going to root it in, which is a real thing that I've been experiencing over the years, past 20, 25 years. So when we were moving forward with John, and this idea of him getting crowned at WrestleMania and becoming 17 and turning heel, and then being a heel champion, I knew then the best thing for the final boss, we've established this idea of Cody's soul. We can always come back to it. I did feel, and I made the call, I don't want to be involved in that. Step back. Let the final boss step back into the shadows. Let all the spotlight go to John. Let it go to Cody. Let's not make it about Cody's soul eventually or John's soul. No, let's let them do what they do. And I called John after Elimination Chamber, spoke to him, called Cody, and I said, I think the final boss's work is done. We've established it. We just pulled off the greatest angle in the history of professional wrestling, other than Hulk Hogan turning heel back in the 90s. I said, this is amazing. We have 6 weeks. Now, let's build. You guys go and crush it. And I'll be right there with you. And I'm always here if you need me. But I think it's best for the final boss not to be involved in that finish. You guys go. So they had 6 weeks to plan for that. So I love the finish of the match. I would have finessed things a little differently on how they got there, but that's just me creatively.
So you mean to tell me the only reason that The Rock was at Elimination Chamber was because Ari Emanuel was like, Rock, please help us because we can't sell enough tickets for Elimination Chamber. Bro, the reason that you're not selling enough tickets is not because nobody was interested. This is John Cena's final year. People were interested. But you're asking for an arm and a leg in order to purchase tickets. Maybe they needed to sell their soul to you in order to get some fucking tickets. That's why you weren't fucking selling them. If you lowered the ticket prices, maybe people would show up. That's the fucking problem. So The Rock inserted him into this story, making him in a very important part about the selling his soul, even though he says, oh, I didn't want it to be about selling the soul. It should just been Cody and Cena doing what they had to do. You made yourself the most important part of that story. You didn't have to show up, which means January appearance didn't matter. October's appearance didn't matter. Elimination Chamber didn't matter. So all this story building, everything he went through, him on NXT saying, oh, shut your mouth, let let The Rock take you on a ride. That was nothing. That was bullshit. Every one of his appearances after WrestleMania meant nothing towards this story when it should have been. So this whole time, John Cena could have still won the chamber and faced Cody, and it had one of the craziest endings to WrestleMania by him turning heel there, breaking the internet because now John Cena just turned heel on the biggest stage of them all. What is he going to say after Mania? This is insane. Or you could have had him turn heel at Elimination Chamber. He didn't need to sell his soul to The Rock. Rock could have not been there, and we would have still got the heel John Cena and had a better WrestleMania main event. But no, The Rock had to insert himself because Ari Emanuel was like, please show up, Rock. So instead of Rock being like, I'll show up but do something little, him and Triple H was like, oh, you know what? Maybe we should turn John Cena heel. Oh, that's a great idea. Let's make it about somebody selling their soul to me. If you were not going to be at WrestleMania and be a part of the biggest moment, why insert yourself? And now I kind of feel bad for Triple H because, number one, he's getting inducted to the Hall of Fame this year. And now everything's going to be on Triple H's thing because The Rock wasn't there. So everybody's going to blame Triple H for not doing damage control. The Rock wasn't there, so he's blaming. All the blame's going to go to you because you couldn't find a way to fix it. Instead, you had Travis Scott come out. So now everybody's going to blame you and The Rock. And The Rock is throwing all of that on you. So they're like, oh, it was Hunter's idea. He was like, maybe Cena should turn heel. And then I thought it was a good idea, so I went along with it. So all the backlash that happens, Rock not being there, everything is going towards Triple H. So I kind of feel bad for him. So just like that, off of greed, Emmanuel's greed for not selling enough tickets, that fucked up The Rock's situation. It makes him look like a terrible fucking person and a terrible booker. It makes Triple H look bad because he couldn't do anything about it. And he also makes John Cena and Cody Rhodes look bad. All of this could have been avoided if The Rock just said, I can't make it. I'm sorry, Ari. It just doesn't make any sense towards the story. And that's what pisses off everybody. The excuse you made makes everything that you did so worthless. And if that was not the point of the story, why insert yourself? This is the biggest story WWE has. So if all your appearances didn't lead up to anything, why the fuck did you join it? Oh, we needed to sell tickets, so I helped my best friend Ari. You should do what's best for the story, what helps the fan. Fans don't want to see stupid shit like this. So this all could have been avoided. And that's what pisses everybody off. It's so fucking stupid. Why do something like this? This whole WrestleMania 41 was a fucking disaster. Why? Because of The Rock. And also, Triple H and Nick Khan, but I'm not even going to talk about that shit because what they said on the bill to WrestleMania 41 is fucking ridiculous. WrestleMania 41 is going to go down as one of the most disappointing WrestleManias because night one was garbage except for the main event, and night two was great except for the main event. That's what frustrates everybody. This was a whole waste of time. You wasted everybody's time. Now I'm sitting here frustrated. I feel bad for everybody involved because it's like, this could have been such an amazing moment that everybody is going to remember. John Cena making history. And all of it's not going to mean anything because nobody's going to ever talk about that. They're always going to talk about how The Rock did not show up. So, yeah. All of this shit is ridiculous. It's fucking ridiculous. I don't understand the mindset that these people have. I don't understand why they don't do things for the fans. You know what? Fuck it. I'm going to talk about what Triple H and Nick Khan did because now I'm pissed off. So we're going to talk about that before I end this fucking video. So WrestleMania weekend. The build towards WrestleMania 41, the biggest event in pro wrestling of the year. You would think they'll start talking about the fucking thing building up to WrestleMania 41, right? Triple H, Nick Khan, they all announced that they bought AAA, the second biggest Mexican company in Mexico, which was great. That was the only positive going out of this WrestleMania weekend, because Triple H and Nick Khan go on separate interviews and say stupid shit. We're going to start with Nick Khan. Nick Khan bashes AEW by talking about Tony Khan not really saying his name, but has no respect for him, because when they talk about it, Nick Khan says, "Yeah, I respect the father that funds this company." So not respecting Tony Khan at all, which is, it made sense because Tony Khan and Triple H, WWE, they go back and forth. It's not like none of the companies, it's not like AEW attacks WWE and they just like the sensitive ones and like the innocent ones. WWE does it too, which is, it was going to happen anyways. But what he says really pisses me off. Nick Khan says, fucking can't believe it. He says, when we sign wrestlers, we don't bench them. We sign them to use them. Basically saying that AEW just signs talent and don't use them. They just bench them and let them be cold until their contract's over. Now, has it happened in AEW? Yes. Tony Khan he's done that before. It happened to Penta, it happened to Phoenix, it happened to Ricky Starks, it didn't happen to Jade really. But he does bench wrestlers. But you can't say something like that when you yourself do that. It's so hypocritical. WWE does it too, Nick Khan. You guys do it yourself. Where the fuck did Omos go? You brought Omos back when he was in Japan doing his thing, and you brought him back, nowhere to be seen. He was doing so good stuff just for you to be like, nah, we need you back. Okay, didn't do anything. Who else can I use? Apollo Crews. Before you let Giovanni Vinci go, where the fuck was he? You took forever to bring him on, and then when you decided to finally use him, you had him buried before you released him. Don't act like you don't bench talent either. WWE made the term catering, so don't be like, oh, talking shit like AEW is the only company that does that. You yourself do it as well, so don't fucking do that. It's so hypocritical. That's bullshit. Now we're going to talk about what Triple H said. Triple H, he said that he wished fans would just shut up and stop bitching and stop criticizing us because they don't know anything like that, and let us do our job and just enjoy the show. With him saying that makes no fucking sense. You know why we criticize? Because what happened at WrestleMania 41 is exactly why we fucking criticize. We criticize when shit is bad. It doesn't matter if it's AEW or WWE. It doesn't matter what. If when I watch the product, which I watch AEW and WWE, if one company is doing something bad that I don't like, I'm going to call it out. Not because I hate them. It's because I want them to do better and I know they can do better. Triple H saying that fans should stop criticizing is ridiculous, and he should be ashamed for saying that. Because without fans criticizing, WrestleMania 40 would have been garbage if we didn't say anything about it. WrestleMania 41's ending was garbage because of fucking ridiculous shit that you guys was like, let us do our jobs. Well, you didn't do your job great because it's fucked up. So criticizing obviously needs to happen, because if we don't criticize, shit like this happens. And now you don't want us to criticize what happened at WrestleMania 41, which was all your fault. It was The Rock's fault, and then it led to your fault, and then you're gaslighting us for criticizing. You see how they just turned everything on us and it's our fucking problem? Crazy. So that's what the biggest problem with is this whole thing. WrestleMania 41 is going down as one of the most disappointing builds, disappointing weekends, and just straight up fucked up. All because of the people in charge. And we're not supposed to criticize, right? We just let them do whatever they fucking want. It's ridiculous. You expect me to pay fucking $5,000 for a fucking nosebleed seat just to see some bullshit like that? No, absolutely fucking not. Get your shit together. Raw After Mania was fantastic, but I'm just saying you need to fucking, I don't know. This whole weekend was fucked up because The Rock saying stupid shit, Triple H saying stupid shit, Nick Khan saying stupid shit. It's a fucking waste of time. Anyways, that's the breakdown for you guys. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you like and subscribe. Go subscribe to my little sister Cassie's World. I'll put the link to her channel in the description below so you can check her out. She's starting a new YouTube channel, so I feel like I should help her out. Anyways, guys, this has been Ness Reacts, and I'll see you in my next video. Let me know how you feel about this whole big controversy. Once again, this has been Ness Reacts, and I'll see you in my next video. Hashtag fuck the Rock.
Am I original? Yeah. Am I the only one? Yeah. Am I sexual? Yeah. Am I everything you need? You better rock your body now. Everybody.